Good morning. It is Thursday and I am getting ready to plan my next week out. And I remember in a recent video asking if you guys would like to see my pre-planning process. And a lot of you said yes. And so today I'm going to take you along with me onto the computer and then to my notepad to show you how I plan my week. I've also got my first peppermint mocha of the year because I think pumpkin spice lattes are gross, but these things are delicious. So this is basically how I plan my week out before I even touch my Erin Condren planner. It's kind of thinking my way through, brainstorming the week. The first thing I do actually before I even step to my computer though is come over to my Kanban board and see where things are at right now. And then once I've looked at that, then I'm gonna sit down at my computer and get to work. Here's my Kanban board. I need to update it, but as you can see, there's a lot of shit happening for the shop. This is all from the most recent Skillshare class. Information is in the description below, #marketing. All this is going on now. And so these things are things I'm gonna have to think about when I'm sitting at my computer, which I am going to come on over to right about now. All of my pre-planning starts on my Google Calendar. I actually do all of my content planning on my Google Calendar, and I do a lot of forward planning here. I used to do this in the monthly in my Erin Condren, but I found that it's so much easier to move things around using a Google Calendar. So as you can see here, I have multiple calendars down the side. I think I've done a video talking about this before, but I have multiple calendars. I have my personal calendar. I have this one that's actually a shared calendar with my patrons that I keep closed because I do my patron planning on a different calendar, but then I share this one with them so that they can see the things that they need to see. Content creation, custody, which I share with my whole family, editorial calendar, my family calendar, which is also shared with my whole family, freelance work, out of the office, patron planning, podcast interviews, shop shit and making work, and Skillshare. Plus I have a few other ones on here as well. So I'm going to close this down though, because you don't need to see that. I start here. Now, the week I'm filming this, which is this week, I don't calendar block because I want it to follow this exact configuration. I'm actually doing it for two reasons right now. One, because it's helping me kind of sort my thoughts with big amorphous goals like opening the shop. It helps me divide it into smaller tasks before I start breaking it down in my planner. But B, it's helping me kind of track the time I'm doing. Like I will change it out if I have spent more time doing something else. And that has been really helpful for me. Now, when I'm on this calendar, one of the things that I do is I move things forward if they're not going to get done to the next week. Like, so for example, let's just say that this plan with me, I'm not going to edit it this week. I'm not going to get to it till next week. So I would go into it. I would just hit edit event, and then I would just throw it forward a week. And then when I got to this week to plan, I would move it wherever it needed to be. But that's actually not what I'm going to do because I am going to do that today. So let me move that back. But in general, I will just throw things forward, and then once they're there, I will fix them once I get there. Now that we're into the week I'm planning, this is what it looks like. Now I have two types of events on here. I have events that are just up here at the top. They're all day events. They might stretch. Some of them are things like my custody or when people are in town or out of town. Some of them are things like no school. Up here, anything in this like kind of reddish color is my editorial calendar. So those are the videos or podcasts that go live that day. And then other things are stuff that like FallCon for my kid that actually have specific times assigned to them, but it also lasts for the whole week, or I have to figure the time out. Like sometimes I'll have pay bills up here or Power Sheets time or whatever. Let's just say as an example, let's pay bills. I will remind myself I need to pay bills on the 13th. And then when I come to actually pre-plan the week, I'll say, okay, we're going to pay bills at 7 p.m. and then just delete the old event, or I'll, adapt the old event to equal there. But I'm not actually paying bills that day, so it doesn't really matter. But as an example, we'll look at FallCon. I hopefully am going to get a carpool, but unless I don't, I need to block off the driving time because this is going to be a bitch of a drive. It's 3 hours there in traffic, so I expect that on, what day? On Friday, I'm going to be going from 4 till probably about 10 p.m. driving. And I like to use emojis. I got this idea from Amy Landino on YouTube of using emojis in the Google Calendar. I think it's fun. And for certain things. I don't use it for everything, but I do use it for certain things. So that's driving cat that day. And then another driving day. I'm to get there by 2. I want to leave probably around 11. So, and then probably driving until about 5:30 on Sunday. Maybe 6. Probably 6. Let's just go with 6. there goes my weekend. Things I do for my kids. Hopefully we get a carpool figured out though. So there is my driving for the weekend. So I'm still going to leave this up here because Kat's going to be gone all weekend, but now I have it kind of blocked in as time. Some of the things you'll see on here, like the morning routine, I have set to every single weekday. It's because it's something I'm trying to just do on the regular. Editing Cindy here. Okay, so apparently the file got corrupted and I lost the other half of my planning. So I'm just going to take a second and explain to you what I did before I go into the rest of it that I filmed. I am editing this the same day that I recorded it, so thankfully I was able to catch it. Anyway, I had just gotten my grandmother's driving on here. And then when I get back from driving her, I wanted to spend some time rebuilding my office because I'm not going to be able to have it do any more work until that's fixed and it'll be disassembled from Thanksgiving week. And then I just want to do some goal setting and planning for the end of the year, beginning of the year, both for my shop and for other things as well. And I can do that until I have to pick up my kid. I also copied forward picking my kid up on Thursday and Friday. Generally, I don't pick up on Wednesdays. Wednesday is a short day for my kids, and I ask Kat to walk home. And normally, I wouldn't pick up on Friday because Kat would be going to their dad's house, but because I'm driving them to the con, that I'm going to pick them up. And then getting grocery shopping done is also something I added on here. Now, Wednesday, you saw from my Kanban board, I have a lot of stuff to do for my shop. And so I just blocked a bunch of time off for that, kind of leaving the center area open for now. And I can always fix that later. On Thursday, I wanted to spend some time filming, but I'm not sure what videos to film yet. Hopefully I'll have decided that this day. But for now, I just blocked off film 3 videos. And then what I'll wind up doing is breaking that into 3 separate hour-long chunks when I get closer. And then my YouTube analytics. And then I have a Patreon live. I've got some orders of stuff coming in I need to go through. And then on Friday, these are all things I do every Friday. I get my Plan With Me filmed for Sunday and edited. I schedule my following week for my patrons, and I go through my inbox. All of that being said, I've basically broken my work week up here, and I can use this and then go into my Erin Condren. I'm sorry, the cats are in the background. I can go into my Erin Condren planner and really visualize the week. And usually when I'm planning, I will kind of massage the week a little bit. Like this is kind of where I start, and then I'll be back and forth between my planner and my Google Calendar, back and forth, because my Google Calendar is my analytical brain and my Erin Condren is my creative brain, and using them together really helps me get like a well-rounded picture of what my week looks like. Now, once I get this all filled out, the next thing that I do is actually go from the computer to a notepad, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I usually get my week ready for my Erin Condren on just a notepad, and I'll use whatever pen I'm interested in because I always use black pens in my Erin Condren. I like using different color pens for planning my week. And the way I always start this is by just writing out all the days. Once I have all the days, I go and I throw the weather on. And so I just look it up in my app and I just plan it through Thursday. Unless I have something going on the weekend where I don't expect to get back to my planner, I'll plan it through Thursday so that I can add in more accurate weather later in the week. So there's my weather, and then I will go and check my meal plan. I do a monthly meal plan every month because that's how you do things monthly. And I just check my monthly meal plan to see how things are going. Monday, I had put out because we're going to have family in town, like my grandma. So I'm assuming we're going to go out. Tuesday, chicken tacos. That should still be fine. 13th will be leftovers. And I don't know. We'll have to see if that's going to change or not, depending on what we have left over after Thanksgiving. Lemon chicken and cheesy green beans. I actually am going to do the chicken and green bean skillet because I already tried that with Jesse and we really liked it. So I don't care if it gets messy, but I want to try it on the kids because we really liked it. On Friday, we wanted to do a date night. So I'm going to write that in here. I didn't even put that in my calendar, so I'll have to make sure to put it in my calendar later. We'll put out, and then Saturday, steaks, and then Sunday is shrimp and garlic butter green beans, which sounds goddamn good, but I don't know. Oh, we can't have a date night on Friday. That's why I was putting it out. It's because of the driving. So never mind. Sunday, shrimp and garlic butter green beans. I'm going to put that, but that might change because I'm doing all that driving that day. So now that I've got my meals and my weather figured out, so then what I will do is I will go back to I have my Google Calendar in front of me open, and I'm just going to go through and put in all of the appointments, the timed things to start with. Monday, I've got no school, family breakfast. Most of my family is leaving that day. It's not on my calendar, but I just know they're leaving that day. Potentially doing a live, and then the 2 posts I need to make sure go up that day, although they should be scheduled because I'm supposed to schedule them later today. Tuesday, then I will go through and take a look at everything that's on there, and it's big, like grandma to airport, and grandma's flight is 10:30 in Oakland. Okay, so that's my information for Tuesday. Wednesday, I want to do shop shit all day and then moo order. Thursday's a filming day. We need to do some family planning as well. That'll probably happen on Tuesday. And notice this is like super hard to read. I'm just getting all this on here so I have it. And so Friday we have the plan with me, film plus edit, schedule next week. Saturday there's the hangout at 6, wash sheets, relax. Should happen on Saturday as well. And then on Sunday, the YRUP driving, and then just get the house cleaned up. All of that stuff is kind of pulled from my Google Calendar onto this list. I could just leave Google Calendar open when I plan, but I like having it here because it's kind of divided by day. And when I'm looking at this and working in my planner, if you've watched any of my Plan With Me's, you've seen me go through this process where I'm like in the middle of it using my list and then changing my mind or adding to it or expanding on it. That's one of the reasons I like using the Erin Condren. Putting things on a Google Calendar is very kind of cold feeling to me. It's very appointment schedule-y feeling, and the Erin Condren feels a lot more holistic. That sounds super woo-woo, but doing the creative stuff really helps my brain work creatively, which helps me think about my week more creatively. And so that's really important to my pre-planning, my planning process. Once all of this is done, I spend about an hour and a half planning my week out between all the things. And then once that's done, I literally spend maybe 10 minutes a day glancing at everything and getting to work. So doing all this stuff in the beginning of the week helps me feel organized throughout the week. I hope that this was helpful to you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you do to plan your week out, to pre-plan your week out before you start adding all the stickers and stuff to it, if that's something you do. Let me know your best tips in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.